Hi guys, we got a Starviper article today, and it is officially the death of Biggs. I'll explain more, but let's get started by taking a look at some of the cool stuff they're showing us today. So I'm going to kind of ramp up the coolness factor. First thing we got is ion dischargers. This is an illicit, it costs 2, and it says, after you receive an ion token, you may choose an enemy ship at range 1. If you do, you may remove that token. That ship may choose to receive 1 ion token. If it does, discard this card. So basically it's a way for you to ignore ion tokens, but somebody can potentially discard your card by taking an ion token in your place. Obviously, you know, if they're trying to ion you, then maybe they'll just go ahead and take one to, so you can finally start taking ions again. To me, this is the weakest card maybe of the entire package, of the entire set. Just because at least where I've been playing, I don't see ions really get used very much anymore. But maybe, you know, maybe they're going to come back someday. Maybe there's more stuff for ions in the works. Could this be a sign of things to come? Do you think we're going to see like advanced ion turrets or more ion-based gameplay? There really isn't a whole lot of ion gameplay, at least that I see. But maybe you see different stuff in your local meta. So I don't know about that, but I think that's pretty interesting. It's only 2, but I mean, it just seems so situational. Like, I think it should be 1, but I don't know. That's just me. We got some new pilots. So let's take a look at our pilot skill 6 with an EPT. His name is Dalen Oberos. Dalen Oberos? I think Dalen. Dalen sounds about right. Dalen Oberos. If you are not stressed when you reveal a turn, bank, or Segnor's loop maneuver, you may instead treat it as a red Talon roll maneuver of the same direction, left or right, using the template of the original revealed maneuver. So this gives this guy crazy maneuverability. So what he lets you do is basically turn, you can do a bank Talon roll, you can do a turn Talon roll, or a Segnor's loop. Well, I guess that would still be a bank Talon roll. So very, very cool. It's the first time you can really do a bank Talon roll, I think, isn't it? I don't think, you know, I don't think there's been any other way you could do that kind of banked, you know, and then when you get to slide it up, so it gives you a lot of reposition ability. Very cool, and he has the EPT. Pilot skill 6, not half bad, so you could potentially get him up to 8. But, you know, as long as you're above 3, you know, you can take the Virago title, so that opens up some more possibilities if you wanted to be able to put maybe auto thrusters on him or something like that. Which is very cool, especially if you're going to be doing red maneuvers. You know, you might want to be able to boost and then Talon roll. This guy's got just crazy maneuverability, and I think he'll be a lot of fun to play. So I'm looking forward to playing around with this guy, and he's got an orange and red paint job too, so that also is kind of interesting. Not a big fan of the orange and red, but you know, that's my own taste. Looks like he's already, you know, if he were going to explode, he's already the same color as the explosion, so he's kind of asking for you to blow him up. All right, but he's the least interesting pilot because we've got one of the most awesome pilots I have ever seen in this game, Thweek, and there were some rumors that he was going to copy some kind of pilot ability, and I guess that kind of has been confirmed today. So he is a pilot skill 4, which does allow him to take Virago, so that's important. He does not have an EPT though, so this definitely restricts what he can do, and I think it's probably a pretty good thing that he doesn't have an EPT, because look at this guy's ability. During setup, before the place forces step, you may choose 1 enemy ship and assign the shadowed or mimicked condition card to it. So he comes with 2 different conditions. You get to pick one of them. So let's take a look at these condition cards. First is shadowed. So shadowed, Thweek is treating as having the pilot skill of that you had after setup. The pilot skill of Thweek does not change if your pilot skill value changes or you are destroyed. Now it says after setup. So if you have adaptability or whatever, maybe now you want to lower. So now here's an interesting time. Like, there haven't been too many cases where I've seen people want to actually use a lower pilot skill with adaptability. But if somebody, you know, targets your pilot skill 8 Poe Dameron, for example, then maybe you say, all right, well, you know what? Since I've got a couple of other 8s, you know, now I won't make Poe a 9. I'll lower Poe to 7 so that your guy doesn't beat the rest of my fleet. So you know, there's that going on. But is also, if you're doing everything first and you have Thweek, you may want to copy one of their pilot skill 1s so that you can become a blocker. you know, if they're running stuff like that. So there's definitely a lot of options here. So I really like Shadowed, but Mimicked. Let's look at Mimicked. Thweek is treated as having your pilot ability. Thweek cannot apply a condition card using your pilot ability, and Thweek does not lose the pilot ability if you are destroyed. So that is the most interesting one, your pilot ability. So, you know, remember at the beginning of this video I said Biggs is now nerfed. This is the counter Biggs, the ultimate counter Biggs. So, or maybe not the ultimate counter Biggs, but a pretty possible Biggs counter here. So if you bring Biggs, Thweek can say, you know what, I'm actually going to take Biggs's ability, and so it can turn it right back at you. Plus, he's a 3 agility ship who can equip auto thrusters, and so it could be extremely difficult, you know, to take care of him. And he can take the Virago title too. So there's all kinds of, you know, you can glitter stem him if you needed to. There's some very interesting stuff that you can put on this guy if you were to copy Biggs. But think of all the other popular pilots that you could potentially copy and really wreak havoc with. Dengar comes to mind as well. Copying Dengar and taking over that ability, so you can, oh man, I think that's going to be nuts. But then I think Biggs and Dengar are the first two that come to mind, but there's a lot of other really nice ones. Omega Leader would be a very, very nice one, a very attractive ability to have, especially with 3 attack dice. You know, any ship out there that has only 2 attack dice and he takes it, you know, it's like he's like a more powerful version of that ship now, even though he's only pilot skill 4. I mean, that can be a blessing and a curse. But yeah, Dark Curse, it would make him really hard to kill. That would be a cool one. The Inquisitor would be nuts. You know, a 3 attack ship that's always shooting at range 1, so you have 4 attack dice everywhere and they don't get a range bonus from it. It's like a better version of Heavy Laser Cannon. I think that's insane. Quick Draw is another one. I mean, that, you know, Quick Draw might not be as good unless you are running like a shield upgrade or something like that, but yeah, I mean, there's just so many that would be really fun to use. I think, you know, I don't know, like the hard part is when somebody's got a mediocre pilot abilities and no really good pilot skill number that you want to steal their pilot skill. So, you know, but Thweek seems like he's going to be one of the most awesome pilots of all time. So let me know in the comments who you would most like to steal a pilot skill from with Thweek, or borrow, I guess, since you're not actually taking it from them, you're just copying it. Who do you think is the best pilot to copy somebody from with Thweek? Keep in mind you cannot copy like a Kylo Ren, because you would then not be able to deal condition cards, so what's the point? So there's that. But any pilot ability that has a condition card you wouldn't be able to do, but there's so many really good ones. Sabine would be a real fun one. God, I mean, I think one thing I love is I like to play X-Wing more on a casual for fun basis rather than a highly competitive environment. So I don't do too many tournaments for X-Wing lately. Most of my tournaments have been for Armadas, but so most of my X-Wing play is usually in the casual format. But if I'm going to do a tournament, I think the last X-Wing tournament I did, I just brought TIE Fighters, and I just was like, you know what, I'm going to set them up differently. I'm not going to fly in formation. I'm going to do all kinds of weird stuff. I had them all bump one time. I had them do crisscross, and once I fanned them out, so they were all going different directions, I'm like, I'm always going to have a shot, you know? And so every match was different. And so I like to, if I'm playing in an X-Wing tournament, I really like to have some variety, have decisions to make, and to try to do something or put myself in a scenario where every match can be different. And it's because I don't like to just do the same thing every time. But that's just me, and I'm not condemning people who play, you know, very competitively and take it very, very seriously, because that's awesome. And I love that X-Wing has the casual and the competitive. But I lean more towards the casual side, mostly because I've got so many kids now, it's hard for me to do tournaments. But I love the fact that if I'm going to do a tournament, here's a pilot that every match will be different. And I love that. And from the competitive side, it also allows you to make a choice to counter what your opponent's doing. Because if they bring a Biggs, or if they bring a Dengar, or something like that, now what is this going to do to the meta? Is it going to discourage those really those very popular ships? Is this encourage more generics? And even if you take the generic, well, then you can just use Shadowed and copy your pilot skill to, like, maybe either block you or make sure he's got the last one to move, or, you know, especially on a very mobile ship, Well, you know, which that could be just amazing, especially if you give him, you know, the Virago title and open up all the wealth. I think he's definitely the top candidate for the Virago title right now. So Thweek seems absolutely amazing. But I want to hear what you think. Who's the sleeper that nobody's really noticed yet for Thweek to copy, and then it would be amazing. And who is maybe the funniest? You know, but I'd love to hear from you on that. Let me know what you're thinking. Do you think that this is going to be an early release at Gen Con? I don't think it's going to be here in time unless they're getting some kind of special shipment. I think it would be great if it were a Gen Con pre-sale, but I think it's still being printed right now, so I don't know if it's going to make it in time. We have, I think, less than a month until Gen Con. Yeah, we have less than a month. We've got like just under a month, so I don't know. Let me know what you think, guys. As always, the giveaway is still going for the race beater, so once I hit 8,000, well, I'm going to announce that. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment, and after Gen Con, I'll be doing another giveaway, potentially double giveaway if any of my predictions are correct. Come on, ground game or Superstar Destroyer. It would be awesome. All right, so that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.